All opinions expressed by the program participants are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Upscale Love for You. The program participants' opinions are based on the information that they consider from their own knowledge. No expressions or accuracy is related to Upscale Love for You.
Hello and good evening, everyone. This is yours truly, Dr. Fabulous. And tonight it's going to be a little different tonight. We're hosting an open forum where everyone can shoot their shot, ask questions, and hopefully we can answer them at the best of our abilities. And I would like to say tonight we're going to do something, how do you say, real different. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to you, Dr. Feelgood.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know who I am. You know what I am. You know what I do. Um, I'm the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, and of course, Moses of Rolls Royce. Bring it to you live from the 571 where I have fun and I get things done. I'm the mister with the blister, and it'll keep you, and if you're not careful, I might take your sister. Tonight, how we're going to do it is, if you have a question that you want to ask the panelists, show your hands up there, be acknowledged, and then we'll answer those questions to the best of our abilities. And if you want to chime in, it's basically the opposite of what we usually do. I think this is a better way. This gets more participation, and you get to hear from the host, because usually you don't hear our point of view. So I'm going to pass it to Lady K. You do your thing. You do your thing, Special K, Miss K, or
it's special.
You do your thing.
Okay.
Right,
okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm calling in. I'm from Savannah, Georgia, by way of my hometown is New Jersey, and I'm just excited to be here tonight. Thank you to Dr. Fabulous for extending the invitation to me. And like they said, it's an open forum, so just feel free to ask whatever comes to mind, and I look forward to tonight's show.
Okay. And without further ado, we're going to turn it over to you, Lady T.
Welcome, everyone. I'm live in the 305. Welcome. I'm so excited for tonight. We're going to really hit the topic of love and sex. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Well, if this is your very first time coming on to Upscale Love for You, please definitely don't make it your last. Let it be your first and several more times to come. The purpose of Upscale Love for You is formulated to entertain, educate, and facilitate self-help, self-love, and everything you want and wish to know about love, relationships, dating, and of course, marriage. Because a man told me this today, every woman wants to be married. Well, he could be right, he could be wrong. But whatever it is, Upscale Love for You is here to cover hot topics. Oh, some sensitive topics. Anything that you want to talk about, we're here to talk about it at Upscale Love for You. So, whether you are actively seeking directions or looking forward to just pass the time or have some genuine good conversation, feel free to come on to Upscale Love and express yourself, because we are here to allow you the opportunity to be heard. So, once again, you're welcome to Upscale Love, and don't let this be your last. And we're going to start, we're going to open the floor. So I'm going to allow Dr. Feelgood to get it shaken bacon and to explain how the open forum is going this evening.
We on.
Sorry about that, Uncle Tim. Had to mute you. If you have a question you want to ask, I ask that you raise your hand, and you'll be first in the shoot. Anybody Anybody got somebody.
Okay. Well, tonight, the question that we had on the table is, most of the time, and let me get it for verbatim. Hold one moment. I'm going to have it together for you. The question is, in a relationship, do you think people associate sex as love? Is love love, or does it, when you equate sex into it, do you think you're in love because you're having sex? It's on the table. Ask that question. Okay, Dr. Feelgood, you got your hand up.
Okay, here's the thing. Men and women perceive love, which is emotion, very differently. Women, women in love do things, and men in love do things. Now, I remember before the show, I asked you, how did you know, what, as a woman, how would you know that a man's in love with you? And a lot of women say that men lie, say they love bomb you, they say, I love you, I love you, I love you, but their actions don't match their words. With love, men show love in different ways, but mainly by protecting, providing, procreating, and also problem solving.
Okay.
Whereas sex is important to a man, that's part of procreation, but a man can have sex and not catch feelings, as we like to say. A man can have sex. We said a man can have sex and go eat a sandwich. A man can have sex and go have sex again. When you're talking about that, women, on the other hand, y'all have to, most times, not all, I make that caveat pretty clear. A lot of, for the most part, women have to feel something, some type of connection, whether it's an emotional connection, a physical connection, a spiritual connection. Oh, no, I agree, Danny. Women, that's why I didn't say all women. But the women who can do that, those are the ruthless women, because they can turn it, if they can turn it on and off, if they're doing it for something besides love, that's probably the closest they're going to be to how a man does it. But sex doesn't always equate to love, because we both get aroused. It's not a woman, or it's not a person giving it to another person. It's two people doing it at the same time.
Okay,
So you're
but
getting.
you said, I'm gonna jump in. You said that men can make love or have sex and have no emotions tied to it, but you said that when a woman does it, she's a little ruthless. Why does the
No, she
woman
can
have to
be.
be ruthless?
No, she can be ruthless, because that's like, for most of y'all to talk to most of y'all to let somebody in your gates. For the most part, you got to feel something. That's the difference. A woman who can just be ruthless about it, that's a whole different ballgame. And that's what I'm saying. Men could be ruthless 100% of the time.
What is ruthless? Sorry, like, can you give an example of what you mean by ruthless?
Okay. A woman wants a Birkin bag. She gets with me.
Talking about tricking?
Not tricking, not tricking in its goods for services thing, but she can date a guy and not give him the box and not have any feelings for him. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
But how is that ruthless if, like, you don't want to have feelings for somebody?
That's usually not how y'all built.
But the thing is, man made us that way.
It doesn't matter. Y'all weren't built.
It's not a matter of being ruthless. Y'all gave us what y'all wanted us to be.
Get the hell. That started with Eve. Cut it out.
No,
So
it did start with Eve. Yes, Eve was the woman who enticed her man. But Adam did not go and hone every other woman for a woman to stop becoming vicious, okay? The ways of a woman is unknown, and man made her that way.
okay, now
Oh,
let me
God.
ask you a
God, I
question.
said man.
No, let me ask you a question.
I'm up now. I think I've waking up now.
All right. Here's
I
a
I think
question.
I woke up now. Oh gosh.
So Danny, you're asking Leanne a question, or you're opening it to the entire forum? Direct your question to who you want to answer this.
I'm just saying that I was tired and I was gonna be quiet, but I'm up now, so keep it going.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Kay, you had your hand up.
Go ahead, Kay.
Okay. So my response to that question, I would say my younger self, in all honesty and to be transparent, yeah, I would say yes to the question that was asked. At one time when I was younger, I don't know, maybe because not having, someone to particularly guide and talk to me about those things at the time, when I was young. Yeah, I did think that equated to love. But then as I'm older, I agree with some points of Dr. Feelgood. I think women can be emotionless as well with it. It doesn't mean it's, but for a long time, I do think it was more in a man's nature. It seems they can have sex, and like he said, and just going about the day like it was nothing. And then a few minutes later, you don't mean anything to them. It's a fulfillment for them. But, roles have also changed now, and we're in different times. And now, as I'm older and I'm more in tune with myself and my body, who I am, more secure, because back then we kind of had this stigma, and it's not right, but it is what it is. Women, if you slept with several different men, that what you were going to be called,
A Jezebel.
right? Whereas
it was
men,
back in biblical days too.
whereas men,
Jezebel,
yeah, men were going to get a hand clap for it. So, but now, listen, I'm gonna tell you now, I feel like this, and this is just me. You don't have to agree with it. No one has to agree with it. But I feel like I am grown as long as I'm being responsible. If I choose to want to do something in that manner to please, that's pleasing to me, then that's the choice that I would make. So at now I can go into something like that without any love being there in any relationship. But that's if I choose to do that.
And right. I wouldn't say that's being ruthless. I would say that you go in with your mind made up that this individual is not the person that you're going to have a sustained relationship with. Right. And you all have that understanding that this is just something for me to do and something for you to do.
But I'm saying now it's like I can do that and not feel bad about it or not feel a certain way about it. Whereas at one point, it was just like it's a taboo thing. You just, if you had any kind of morals, you just didn't do that, But things are much different now. I'm sorry, my daughter came and I lost my train of thought.
I'm gonna help you out a little bit, Kay. It's not that you losing morals and values because you got to get that itch scratched, okay?
Right.
Like a man does. And what happens is men have become more sensitive to yearning and wanting that woman who is not scratching her itch. But then after they've done it, and you don't know me from hell and high waters, you don't know what type of person I am. I could just screw you, feed you to the fish, get my rocks off, and still have morals and values.
Literally.
Exactly. But I do, but then and now now also to knowing love versus just sex. I mean, when you're with someone, I feel like when a man is into you, you'll know. Usually, now not all the time, because some are, some we do get lied to. We do get led on, but men are going to when they're into you, it'll show. Consistency is a big part. They'll have that feeling to want to be around you and do things. Like, to me, I don't know, I just
See, Dr.
my
Feel Good.
Hold up.
That's what I
Be
said.
around you. A man can be phony being around you. He could be busy telling you about his life and forget to tell you about his wife.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You
So
do
they could
have
be
those
all under you and want you and do all that stuff that you think he's doing and think that you the only one, that you the queen of the crop.
You know what a good question would have been too? So if that's the case, since we're on this topic, how do you guys feel as far as having sex on the first date or the first time you meet someone versus waiting, like, what is it, Steve Harvey's 90-day rule, that type of thing? Do you feel like a man is going to look at you any differently?
Well, can I answer
The first
that?
versus
some men don't.
3
Some
months?
One at a time,
some men
please.
don't.
One at a time.
So
I'd like to answer that because, like, for me, like, it's kind of the reason why I really like Lori Harvey. So I'm not on a 90-day rule. I'm just celibate. So the thing is, ever since high school, I like every guy that hollered at me, they knew I was just saving it. They all knew. And the thing was, that was the main reason why high school men just wouldn't approach me. And even now, I'm 21 in a couple of months, but it's like men still don't approach me. Being like celibate is like the number one reason that men will walk away, which I do appreciate because they respect it and they don't try to like use it as a challenge. But I feel like when men hear from the jump that you're not going to give it up, they do walk away. Only from personal experience. I can't say that's all men though.
And how old did you say you are?
I'm turning 21 in 2 months.
Okay, you're doing the right thing.
Okay.
Doing the right thing. You're I mean, she's young still. It's nothing wrong.
And the thing is, the thing that I will say though, is I do like trying to go out and date. But that's why I said I like Lori Harvey, because she dates. She doesn't, she's not trying to settle down yet. But the thing is, men, from me being in the dating pool, they don't like that I'm celibate and they don't like the idea of me dating multiple people. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not looking for one. But I do want to,
and that's cool if you're not giving up the cookies.
That's right.
Now here's the rub. Why do most men want to date women?
Well, I don't know. I've never asked that question.
I'm giving you the answer. Most men want to date in order to do what you're not trying to do.
Yeah.
So
I understand that part.
Okay, now if a man and this is not, it's not universal, but it's general difference. Men, first date and Special K, that's whether it's the first date, 5th date, or 100th date, grown folks are going to do what grown folks are going to do. If you like somebody and you want to be with them, you're going to be with them. You're going to respect them before, during, and after. If you after that one thing, and this is kind of the thing you have to understand. If you're going out on a date with a man, you are going to, he's expecting something, not sex, but he's expecting something. The first date is just a feel thing. It's just a feel thing. If you're not, if you young lady, if you're not putting out, pay for the date. That way you ain't got to worry about that. Then he ain't got no reason to want to get with you. Then the people who want to be with you are going to be with you.
Now, see, I'm going to jump in as the devil's advocate because she's dating. If someone asks her out to date and she's not putting out, that's fine. Why should she still have to pay for the date? They can go Dutch.
Well, I get what he's saying though, because it's a safety thing. Like, I will say that is a safety thing that I've noticed while trying to get into dating. Men feel that if you don't pay up with sex, you have to pay up your own food. But the thing is, I do believe in that because my mom taught me from a young age, nothing in this world is free, and you never know what it'll cost you. So for me, safety wise, I do split the bill and I pay for my own because I don't want anybody trying to get me to pay back in another way.
And that's smart. That is smart. Mr. Battle.
Battle, you have something to say? Agreed. Okay. Text it.
No. So what I wanted to say is I wanted to touch back on the topic that Dr. Feelgood said. He was like, if a woman wants a Birkin bag, okay. So I feel like I don't know if everybody on here know what a Birkin bag is, but for me, if I was offered a Birkin bag in exchange for sex, I would do it.
That Louis Vuitton.
Yes, because I don't know, that's just what I'm into. I don't have to love you, but if you offer me a Birkin bag or a Louis Vuitton bag, yeah, let's go. Do what we gonna do, and I'm gonna get my bag. Yeah, I don't feel no way about that. I don't feel like that's, it is what it is. So
Jerome, I hope they're not giving you no knockoff now. You got to know the
no, that we ain't doing that. We ain't doing the knockoffs.
Oh, okay.
No. But Mr. Battle is into those expensive Louis, and let me tell you, he getting the real thing.
Okay. So long as it's authentic.
He already said
Run it up.
He gonna do.
But that's what you know.
To get that bag.
To saying that when I'm saying it's ruthless, that's what I mean. If if you're doing it for a purpose, and that's not exactly prostitution.
You use the word purpose. You always doing something for a purpose.
Yeah, you don't just have sex for no reason.
Well, just
whether
if it's to get off, if it get off is a purpose. But I'm saying though, that's why I'm not conflating it with prostitution, because we all do something for something. Nothing in this world is free. What I'm saying is ruthless is that what if his partner decided to catch feelings? But I love you. And he's like, I love this bag.
You read the terms and conditions.
Right.
but that's what I'm saying though. That's what I mean.
I love that response.
By ruthless.
Yes, me too.
That's what I meant by ruthless. Not the emotion cold cut off, but look, this is what it is. And some people can't handle that.
You buy me that Birkin bag, I'm gonna switch it to Louis because I want that $3,000 one.
All right now.
Now, Lady T has something. Go on, Lady T.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is we can always start off like with a one night stand or scratch itch, but if it's good, if it's real good and he's treating you right, showing you chivalry and stuff, you're gonna have some feelings. Vice versa. If it's a man, wait a minute. If it's a man and he's like, oh, I'm gonna knock her off and keep it moving, and her bed game is tight and right, he's gonna come back, and sooner or later he's gonna catch feelings too. So you can go in saying one thing, but you don't know how it's gonna end up.
She may not have
exactly.
And she may not have those feelings. And guess what? The reason women are like that is because men put them in that position. Women have not always been that way. Some have.
What type of men that put you in that position? Put women in that position?
Dogs.
Okay. Now, how can you tell the dogs from the non-dogs?
You can't until you get in it.
Blow a whistle.
No, you trust me. You can tell. Y'all can tell. Y'all talk about that intuition.
They bark different. They bark different.
Not all the time. You can't always.
How many friends? Just quick question. How many friends you got in your friend zone?
Me?
Male. Yes.
Me? I got a lot of male friends.
Okay.
But see, everybody. I'm listening to everybody where everybody sound. But to me, it seems like nobody was. The whole point of the whole conversation is for the men and the women. It's about respecting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing. I'm listening to everybody comment and what they're saying, but it's not about what he got going on or what she got. It's about how you respect yourself.
And what's your level of respect is?
Yes.
What's your level of respect is?
My level of respect is this here. If I was to go in if I was to go in a relationship with somebody, my respect is for that person to treat me the way I expect to treat them.
Expectations. Okay.
Yes. If I go in a relationship with somebody now, as I'm gonna speak on to what she was saying as far as spending. If of course everybody gonna look for something. It all depends on what he wanted, what he's planning on dishing out, and all depends on what she's planning on dishing out. Now, if she going out on a date with him and he's expecting to get something because of the little bit he spend or she spend, then in my opinion, both of them have problems. You know why? I'm gonna tell you why I have a problem. Because, like you said, if he dish out and she don't want her, it's gonna be a problem on his end. Now, with that problem on his end, he gonna have something to say about it, whether he tell her or whether he don't tell her. Now, how do he or she figure that part out? Because if he takes her out or she takes him out, and either or do not put in, if a person won't want to do that for me just because he wants something like that speckling from me, then he's not somebody I want to be with. Because that just showing right there, because if I sit there or he or she go out with that person and you go out there on that first date or whatever, and then you in your mind, you like, okay, well, in his head, he might be like, I want some of her, and she might be say, I want some of him. Then if both of them feel that, then it is what it is. So that's just telling me it's all about each one of them getting a fantasy off. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if that person sit there and he don't, okay, if he takes you out, well, if she takes you out, and it's all on, they agree, they happy, they say, call me or whichever case may be, and let's see if we can try to go out again. Yeah, of course, a respectful person with his own self, you want to take time because it's more to that person that you want to find out. Don't try to find out about him through sex or what he's spending. Find out what he got in his heart, and he gonna tell you that heart gonna tell you exactly what kind of person you dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? If anybody worry about what's in a person's pocket and what they are going to spend, what kind of name is you setting for yourself? So that, to me, if you put yourself in that name of people calling you and saying this and that about you, because of course, if that person can have along with you and that person y'all end up doing something, then the word gonna get out, because he gonna talk about it. I went out with this girl. She did this, she did that. And then that's how the names begin. Oh, she's a slut. Oh, she's a HO. Oh, she's a BITCH. She's a thought.
It depends. Hold on.
Same way as with a man, same way with a man when they will call a man, he's a dog, he's trash, he just this or that. Because if you put yourself in that predicament, that's the response you're gonna get.
Okay, so you said he catching feelings and she catching feelings. That's going into the relationship.
Right.
But in the back of your mind, on day one, in the back of your mind, you might be digging him, he might be digging her. But she knows she want that purse, right?
Right.
He knows he wants some booty, but she want booty just as bad.
Right.
Okay, so to say he catching feelings and his feelings are strong, it depends on that person, how they manipulate and how they protect their heart. Because you could date and you don't have to be hoeing around with nobody else or sleeping with nobody else. You could date him. He could get you that purse. He could spend his money. He could buy you. A man still not going to necessarily know where this girl's coming from, and a girl still not going to necessarily know where he coming from except his pockets.
Okay, and I agree with you on that.
Thank you.
But if you always like you just said, and I appreciate that and I respect that, because right, a person don't know what another person got in his mind when it's dealing with something like that. Just like you said, he might think in one thing and she might think in another. But if you got to also have to respect, and that person also that you will have to respect you also, you got to still make it known which way you are going with it, which way you are trying to go with it, if you are going with it somewhere or not. Now, for what I mean by that, let me make an example. If I see someone and I talk to her, I will take her out. We will conversate. I will talk. I want to know more about her. I want to know what she's looking for, and whatever. That
communication.
Right. Communication is what gonna tell you everything you need to know. But if we both going out there with the same mentality as nothing else going behind it or whatever, but if he don't know, if you don't make it like, yo, right now, we're just going out, we're not dating, we're just going out to dinner to see what's perspired. I'm not planning on doing nothing. You have to be honest with the person for him to know, because if that person go out and he not really have an idea of which way this is going, he gonna have a feeling about what he's spending.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is for everyone. So when you go out on a date for the first time, what do you expect? Do you expect love or do you expect sex on the first date?
I expect
Okay,
to have fun, but neither of those.
For me, if it was going on a date, I'm not gonna look for nothing. I'm not gonna look for no love. I'm not gonna look for no.
I agree.
You understand? I'm not gonna look for none of that.
Yes.
So what I'm gonna look for right now, we going out as a companion. Two people that want to go out and find out about each other. Anything else to be uncivilized.
Getting to know.
As we move along, if it constantly, because I might get my feelings in you during the time that we are going out, whether it's a couple of months or whatever, but then I got to make sure you got that same feelings towards me, because I don't want to have that feeling towards you. And at the end, that's where the heartbreak come in. At the end, you are not feeling me the way I'm feeling you, then a whole lot of stuff gonna perspire. But you don't, and as another thing that he was saying, you don't want to use nobody because you don't want nobody to use them, to use you as well.
But keep in mind, not everyone has that
mentality.
That mentality. Some of them need their itch scratched. Some of them are bored and they just need to get out of their house, have some time. But no matter what, when a male or female is setting up a date, you have something in mind.
Yes. But you see that's the trick. That's the trick. That's the trick part of it. Listen what I'm saying. That's the trick part of it, because it is a trick, because simple fact is, like I said, go back to what I said, you never know what that person has on his mind on that first date.
This is very good.
If I take you out, I don't know what's on your mind or what, besides what we are planning on doing as me taking you out, that. As we going out to a restaurant, that. You understand what I'm saying? How the bills be paid, it's each one of us gonna discuss that. That. But after that, no one knows.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna say
the first date is you're dealing with the representative on the first date.
Okay. Well, we have a hand up, Mr. Beard or Miss Beard, Beard one.
Yes. Go ahead.
You got your hand up. Go ahead. But you got to come off mute. Beard one.
I'm off.
That's you? Oh, okay. So you got two. Okay, you got two things going on. Oh, you trying to trick me, Uncle Tim?
You ain't the only beard here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I know I hear a different voice. The other beard, Beard one. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, and maybe because I'm coming from a little bit of a younger era. When we meet women, I'm not gonna lie to you, and this may sound shallow, it may sound bad. It's all fit. When I meet somebody, or I'm interested in somebody, whether I meet them face to face or online dating, it's physical. I don't know nothing about you. Any man walk up to you and say you're the most beautiful soul in the world on the first date is lying. I don't know nothing about It's 100% physical attraction that made me say, hi, how you doing? What's your name? So when I go on that first date, it's still that very first initial instinct of, I like how you look, I like how you shape, I like your smile. I don't know
Exactly.
I don't know if you're a good mother. I don't know if you're a great wife. I don't know if you're a good cook.
But
So
Beard, that's mostly men. That's mostly men. Y'all
okay,
are
so
visual.
women.
You guys are visual.
Women don't know if we're a good dude. Y'all will say stuff like, hey, I like your smile. You seem cool. No, it's physical too. It just may not be physical
the same way. Okay.
as well as far as men go. And I know I'm a boy, so I don't know what girls thinking and everything else, but I know what the women tell me.
You concur.
You don't know if I'm a womanizer, if I'm a deadbeat, if I just use people. You don't know none of that. Don't nobody know nobody on the first date.
So exactly. Personalities don't walk down the street.
Exactly.
Right, and those first dates, you're dealing with the representative. You don't know that.
That's all you get. And so everybody would love to say that I'm trying to find love on the first date, but if that was the case, we still be going through the whole troll thing. Everybody be married with their high school.
Was that a dream? Did you just go, ooh, a dream? Okay, I understand. So what you're trying to say, Mr. Beard, is that you don't believe that there is love at first sight, because they do have a show, Love at First Sight, Married at First Sight. So it can happen.
No. He's not saying that. He's all right. Let me put it in the terms of.
I'm with him. Go ahead, Danny.
Let me put it in terms of the booty warrior. I like you and I want you. We could do this the easy way, but we could do this the hard way. Either way, somebody giving up some butt.
But Danny, you always the booty warrior.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you what he's saying in simple terms.
Oh, okay, but you're saying you're not that. Okay.
No.
Oh, all right.
Nah.
Sure, Danny. Okay.
Yeah, see, that's the point of what like he just said. That's the point I say you have to tell a person which way you are going. So they already know what to say.
I knew Tim would agree with me. I told you. See?
You understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying. But if you're out front now, I know don't nobody walk up to someone, you done arrange the date, you get at the date and say, hey, I'm here because of XYZ. That's not the way it works.
You ever been on Tinder? You ever been on Black People Meet? You better ask somebody.
First date.
First date.
The first conversation. To get to know them.
Yeah. Okay.
Tinder's not for dating. Like I had Tinder. That's not for dating. That's strictly not for dating. So you can't use that as an example for dating. That's strictly a hookup app. For dating, you got to meet this person.
Well, what he's saying is yes, it is now
it's intended for hookups, but it's intended for dating, but no, it's straight hookups.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well then, let's take it.
It's on Christian Mingle too. Christian Mingle ain't exempt. Yes, it is.
I'm not talking about Christian Mingle. How you
I'm
know
saying it's the same.
Christian Mingle.
Christian Mingle is a setup thing too. Same thing. Them quiet girls.
So they just meeting at church instead of meeting at the restaurant. Is that what you're saying?
You never heard nobody doing it in the church? You never heard nobody doing it in the church?
I never heard anyone doing it at the church.
You can't even say that with a straight face. You see how your neck is going?
Hey, Douglas, go ahead after Danny finishes.
Danny's finished. Go ahead, Douglas.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's just man meets woman, woman meets man. The first thing on the mind is sex. But now we're all adults and mature enough to know that you're gonna have to build a relationship. So I don't know why we keep going back and forth with this, because you want somebody to settle down with and have on-demand sex. So I don't. That's the given. So how you work to it, that's what we're discussing. But because men, we visual, we look at you, we want to do something with you, but now we need to know how to approach you, how to build a relationship, if that's possible, or maybe you just want your itch scratched too. So And y'all look at me in the same way. First, when y'all say he got to be at least 6 feet, got to have a six pack and all this, because you're looking at the visual to see how well he can put it down and all of that. So let's just make that a given. And now let's discuss how to build a fruitful and satisfying relationship.
Doug, so how does that equate to love?
It grows. I'm gonna help him out.
Okay,
It grows.
depends on what your definition of love is and how you saw love growing up and stuff, because we talked about this before where some women believe like if you're not fighting over them and fighting for them or fighting them, you're not showing love. You know,
Okay.
I believe that
Those are the one abused.
And those are probably the younger crowd too. That's not
Wait, what was
for the
what did he
mature.
say? What's the young crowd?
Listen, when we answer the questions, it's not a blanket statement for everyone because there's exceptions to every rule. So he said, how does that equate to love? And I said it depends on how you define love, and that can be based on how you were raised and what you saw. So yeah, all of that goes into the mix. That's where the conversations, the real conversations, the meaningful ones. So
that's a very good answer, Douglas. You said you've been thinking about that one.
Because you know why Douglas thinking about that one? Douglas always says about he's not really looking for love, but I truly believe that Douglas is looking for love, and we're going to have an online dating game one night. We're going to put that together for you, Douglas. I just know you're looking for that love so your heart can go pitter-patter, pitter-patter once again. I know that's what it is.
After I get about 6 more notches on the belt, then we can talk about
six
sex.
notches.
He just trying to find the right one.
Okay, I got you. So. I see we got a Z-Law, welcome, Heather, welcome, Yvette, everyone, welcome. But I'm coming to So. Can you hear me, So? Can So hear me? Well, Bridget, can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna try this one. Nikki, can you hear me?
I can hear you. This is So.
Okay, well, I'm gonna jump back down to So. So when you go on the first date with someone, what do you expect from that first date?
Well, with my mindset now, because I'm looking for love, I look for a friendship first because I feel like if you don't have friendship, everything is gonna be strictly off of lust. And when that lust dies down, you're not gonna have anything. So when I go on a date, I look for just to have fun, friendship, see if I could just vibe with you first. And then I feel like everything will fall into place afterwards.
Okay, so that was, I'm going to say you're not a young person, but you're not that old. So that was a good answer, So. I'm going to come up to a young man, Anson. Are you available to chit chat?
Been available since we started.
Okay, so question for you. When you go out on a date, your very first date, what do you look for in that date as being a man?
I mean, it's all dictated by a woman anyway. So it's not really what I'm looking for, is what she's looking for. So
you say it's dictated by the woman?
Yes. So
and why do you say that?
Z-Law agrees with you too. Mm-hmm.
Who agrees?
What happened?
Go ahead. I didn't hear what you said because somebody said something. You said it's dictated by a woman. But tell me why you think the date is dictated by the woman, because if you're inviting her out and you have everything set to your, constraints, how you want the date to go, why do you think it will be dictated by a woman?
Because it's only gonna go as far as she wanted to go. We can go have a couple drinks and she going by her way and go home or whatever. If that's what she want to do, then that's what I'm going to have to be cool with, because I can't dictate what she does. I can only go with what she's willing to do.
So if she's willing to, you're going for drinks. So she's leading that, she's sitting there talking to you, trying to get to know you. She's not trying to take you home to have sex, but she's trying to get to know you to see where this is going to go, other than to a sexual aspect. Are you cool with sitting down, having a conversation, trying to get to know her?
Well, let's go back to the beginning. This is a date. So what's the purpose of a date? A date is to get to know someone or to spend time with them.
But
So
you
that's
said
all
it's only as far as she will allow you to go. So if she said, Anson, come on, I'm finished with this drink and I want to take you straight to the sack, you would be ready to go to the sack with that person, and you don't know them from a can of paint?
Don't know what they got.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking this
don't
question.
know if they schizo or bipolar.
First of all,
okay, memorize your address, come back.
I'm gonna go back to the beginning, like I was doing before. A date is to spend time with someone. That's the whole purpose of a date: to spend time with them, whether it's at the bar or at their bedroom. It's still the same thing, but it's gonna be dictated by her.
Okay. Well,
yes,
Douglas,
women allow access to intimacy. That's it. Because if she ain't doing and you pressing, guess what that is? That's a case.
Okay, can I say something right here? Let me say something real quick. I'm gonna make this real short on what he just said. Okay, if you get to a person, whether it's a man or a woman, and I'm gonna question what you said, bedroom. If you with a man or a woman, if y'all go to each other's house and y'all establish yourself in the bedroom, you ain't going in there to do one thing, because you ain't going to talk. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if that person invites you in her or his house and y'all sits in the living room and y'all conversation, then that's what y'all here to do, to conversate, to sit there, to see how it gonna perspire from here on. So, and during that conversation, of course, y'all gonna ask questions about each other. Now, if you're sitting there, y'all walking in, you go straight to her bedroom or she goes straight to your bedroom, hell, both of y'all ain't going over but two things. To do that, and each one of y'all going on about y'all business.
You gotta answer this question to respect him. Hold up, Tosh. A lady T. Let me just say this. What basically the man was saying is the woman chooses the man. The woman allows, she's the one that guides the date. She guides. She's the leader of the pack. She's the one. Either we just sitting here having drinks and communicating, and then I'm going to my car, you going to your car, I'm going home, he's going home. Maybe we'll talk on the phone, get to know each other, and date.
That's what I'm talking about.
We heard that. We got you, Leanne. We're going to jump up to Douglas, because Douglas has had his hand up for some time. So let me go ahead and recognize
I wasn't
Douglas.
finished.
Oh, I'm sorry, Anson.
What I was going to say is, piggybacking off what Tim just said, was that, yes, there would be the assumption that you're not going to the bedroom to talk. But I, unfortunately, was in a situation where I had followed a young lady home, make sure she got home safe. I was about to leave and go home, and then she invited me to come in. And in the midst of her inviting me to come in, she went and changed in front of me and grabbed me by the hand and led me to her bedroom. But when it came down for the come down, she said no. So I'm not finna catch no charge. I put my damn clothes on and got up out of there.
That's right. You don't know what's up
So
with
yeah,
her.
you would assume that.
I
see you there. I see you there. It's exactly the look that was on my face when that shit happened.
And I bet you she was mad the next day because she thought you was going to go and try to strong arm her.
No, actually, what she did was she called me on my way back home, asking me if I'm okay. I'm like, what?
She had a change of heart, Anson. She had a change of heart.
Wait, what do you
Well,
mean by strong arm,
she
Dr.
had a
Phil?
No,
dumbass
she want to
moment.
make
That's what she
sure
had.
what it was by she playing the way she played it. She want to actually see it if he have any kind of attitude or feeling towards the move that she made, because it want the move that she pulled. What she was doing had his mind one way, but she thought maybe if she did that just to actually see and send him home, what kind of would he have an attitude? Would he answer the phone for me by me not giving him none that night and got his mind all thought? Is he gonna answer the phone? When he did that, by him answering the phone with her after he left and called, she called him and answered, she found out, okay, well, he want all about that. So it kind of got her head in a topsy turvy.
Tim, how do you know all that?
Huh?
How do you know all that?
I'm a veteran. I'm an old veteran.
Story
I just want to know. I just want to know.
Hey, I'm a veteran. Trust me.
Okay, y'all. Well, we're gonna bring it back because Douglas, are you finished answering?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna jump over to Anson, and then I got Marlena, and then we'll drop down the Papa Doc. So come on, Anson. Come on, Douglas.
I say, first of all, if you're in the living room is round one, the bedroom is round two. But the question was, what are your expectations on a date? So my assumption is you've seen the woman on the app, in the store, some way, and you're attracted to her, and now you want to get to know them better. I don't think anyone that goes on the dating app and says, "Oh, look, she's cute. That could be my new friend." So the expectation is, everybody say you should date for with a purpose in mind, for marriage or whatever. The expectation is to meet someone, a sane person, not crazy or too crazy, have a relationship, to have sex. Whether that happens on the first night or after a series of dates or whatever. That's the basic expectation. I mean, so why do y'all go on date? Women to get a free meal and that's it? To say bye? Go to a new restaurant so he can pay for it?
Women go on dates.
Sometimes.
Okay,
right.
go ahead.
I mean, so all of that. So the expectation, the quote unquote right expectation is to get to know someone that they can provide whatever you're seeking from a relationship in your life.
Okay. Well, we hear what you're saying. You say you date with a purpose, but your real expectation is from that date, you gonna finally make it round to from the living room to the bedroom. That's what Douglas is saying. So, ladies,
so all that is involved in it.
Okay, well, I know.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if I wanted him to rub my feet or rub my back? I don't have to have sex with him.
This is what I'm saying. As I'm listening, my whole thing is because maybe I'm from the old school. And let me just say this to any male on this board. If you came to my home, I'm not going to stand outside and talk to you. So naturally, I'm going to invite you in and we're going to go sit down in the family room. But we're not going to take it to that next level, to the bedroom, because I'm there to get to know you. But of course, we're not going to stand outside my door. So when a person invites you into your home, you've made a very, how can I say, you made some type of function to get to my home. First of all, to know where I live, because if I wasn't interested in that individual, they're not going to have my address. They're not even going to be invited to my home. So that's first and foremost. Jerome, you got your hand up, and after Jerome, we're going to come over to Heather.
You might not have a lot, but I don't care if I don't have a dime.
I miss.
I just want to talk about the first date. So when people go on first date, when you're getting to know somebody, if it's leading up to like having sex, you don't ask them about their status, or you don't ask them about like questions. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense of what I'm saying. So like if you on the first date with somebody and the vibes is given, oh, we finna go and have sex, wouldn't that prompt someone to ask, okay, what about your status? Like, how are you? You know, I don't know if that's making sense.
Mr. Battle, if they
Yes.
got that, those questions not gonna even matter at that point.
No, it should matter because
It
the
should have
person
mattered
that's
before. No,
dating,
I know what he's. It should have mattered before.
when you say it should have been mattered before, while they're
Okay.
having dinner,
Yes.
that he's
Yes.
gonna ask doing
The type.
that.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Before it even gets to the point of you going toward the house to have sex, you're gonna want to know basically where that person is coming from. If they're already in the house, those questions.
No. I think Mr. Battle says he's asking their status, whether they're AIDS free. Is that what you're asking, Mr. Battle? Can you hear me, Mr. Battle?
Mr.
Okay.
Battle.
I don't know what happened, but
Yes,
he kept
yes.
saying about his status. When you're
Yes,
asking
that's what I'm
about people's status, do you have any sexually transmitted diseases? Those are the things
Correct.
that he was saying that you should ask prior to leading up to having sex. So I understand what Mr. Battle was saying. And yes, you should. That should be a conversation. I'm not going to say that's in your first night or, well, I don't know if people having sex on the first date or anyway, but that should be in some form of conversation.
Right.
So, all right, I got you, Mr.
Before you
Battle.
get
Now
to
I'm
the
gonna
before
turn
you
over
get to
Miss
the point.
Heather. I'm sorry, Leanne.
I'm just saying that those before you even get to okay, I'm confused. Is this when you go into that person's house?
No. This is in their conversation when they're dating, when they're out to dinner. He's
Okay,
asking the status.
Okay, we on the same page. Okay.
Okay. So
All
Miss
right.
Heather, your hand is up. Can you hear
Hey,
me, Heather?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Good conversation. It also would be helpful too, like if we could stay into the hands up, because I know people are jumping in.
Yes,
Then
that's
it
what
gets
I was getting
hard
ready to say.
to
Please put
kind
your
of
hand up if you have
it
a
gets yeah,
okay.
because then our conversation starts moving to the left, and then everybody else that has something to say towards whatever the topic is, now we got lost. So um so prior to that first date, my hope is that people are talking to each other. It's leading up to this face to face, right? And it can go into many different directions for those two people. One experience that I had with somebody, it was really to just get to know them. The vibe was really good, conversing, chatting, and all of that good stuff. And while there might have been some energy, some sexual energy, I actually respected this person because he did the 90-day rule. It didn't go to 90 days, but I admired the fact that he actually took control of that. And I don't know, maybe it was self-control for himself, maybe I don't know what the reason could have been, but I appreciated that. It made me feel special that this person wanted to wait to get to know me more, to figure out, where this could go, if it could go anywhere. So I appreciated that. You don't find a lot of men like that, around. So for me, that was like a game changer.
Right. That was great. That was great because, like you said, most men don't do the 90-day rule. That one night, there you have it. So Latrice hand was up next, and then Lady T. I'm gonna let you take it over from there. Go ahead, Latrice.
Yes. Let's just say when we all go out on those first dates, you're talking to the representative. You don't know that person, like you say, from a can of paint. We don't know. We're just getting to know. We're having conversation. But in actuality, when we're going on those first dates with people, that's just a representative. You really don't know who, what they are until after a couple of dates of conversing with that individual. So, you know, you just can't. And to Anson's situation, I think that that young lady, sometimes we test men to see where they are and what, you know, maybe she tested you, or maybe she did that just to see if you was gonna. Sometimes we test men to see if they just jump in a bed with a woman without even knowing anything.